Alrighty. Hello, everybody. I'm so glad that you could make it to this little Zoom call tonight. We are going to be going over our ultimate lifestyle transformation. But first, I wanted to tell everybody a little bit about me and my story and what has kind of brought me here with this company now and sharing it with my current business, Justine's Greenies. Before all of this, a long time ago, well, not too long ago, like 8 years ago, I was an ultrasound tech. And that's really when my first interest in the human body really um, got ignited. Like the things that I learned, everything was super operator dependent when it came to ultrasound. So we had to know like the right questions to ask people when we're looking inside of their body to know what's going on, to know how to relay it to the radiologist. And it was probably one of the most captivating things I've ever done in my life. I always said I hated science until I learned about the human body and the anatomy and physiology and how it works all together. Um, One thing I absolutely loved about ultrasound was helping others. I absolutely loved working in the hospital and I felt like I was, doing a service always. I feel like even if I did still work there, I would feel that way still. But I don't. I also have a love of learning, so that was ever evolving as well in the medical field, especially in ultrasound. But there was one side of it it was extremely stressful. I mean, having to maneuver beds, move patients, deal with really unruly people, whether it was the other medical staff that was there or the patients who were, sick and very stressed out as well. I guess you could say I seen a lot of like unnecessary suffering, and that was really hard for me. I think probably a lot of us can relate to seeing suffering and having compassion for that. I mean, that's kind of like what the human experience is about. But in 2021, my daughter, Charlie, my youngest, and my dad were both diagnosed with now two very typical things, autism for my youngest daughter, and my father was diagnosed with cancer. And this happened like literally in 2 month time span. And another family member was diagnosed with cancer at the same time who was very close to me, which is my aunt. Um, and I kind of stopped working in the field. I wanted to be home with my daughter. I was already home with her. I worked nights, but like we were staying up all night. Nobody was sleeping. It was really hard. And then I also worked like night weekends. So when my kids were out of school, I wasn't able to like go see my dad on the weekends because I was working. So I took a step back from working in the field and, came home with the kids and I really didn't know what I was going to do. I was like, okay, I'm good for now. Like we had enough saved up. Matt had a good job. So it sustained us for like a good year and a half, 2 years before. And we were going through all the diagnosing with Charlie. And we decided that we were not going to be putting her in school because of the programs that they were making available to her. Uh, not it wasn't something I was interested in. So we decided ultimately to pull all the kids out of school. And I knew that I had to do something at home at that point. I had to figure something out. I've done a lot of cleansing. My journey began with their diagnoses, and I began the journey of like holistic health. I jumped right into juice fasting, into regenerative health with my one of my best friends, Jordan, who's here with us tonight. She taught me so much, and it took all the information I knew from the ultrasound and conventional medicine world and made it just all make sense. And I learned a ton from that protocol. I did alkaline vegan protocols. I did fruitarian protocols. I've done Ann Wigmore's protocols, which kind of started Justine's Greenies, the microgreens business that we have now. And we once we started the farm, I started doing farmers markets and I learned about regenerative farming. And that was a whole new world. And I immediately started planting trees and learning about edible plants and learning about soil health, which I didn't even realize was a thing. And then in February last year, my dad passed away, and things, I stopped doing a lot of the things that I was, really in a constant flow of doing. Started homeschooling the kids again, started a business, and I really wasn't doing any of the things that I was normally doing. And to be quite honest, after learning about regenerative farming, I did not look at the stuff at the grocery store the same anymore. A lot of the food that we get from the grocery store is completely not even nutrient dense at all. Like a box of spinach, that's the reason I started growing the microgreens for us. A box of spinach, it's completely dead at the store. We're not getting anything out of it. It's a complete waste of money. So that's kind of like my story. And then along my regenerative farming journey, I found this company. I was looking for something for Charlie to really help her start absorbing minerals. We tried so many things. I mean, I'm growing her greens and she's drinking those in smoothies. But one thing that I knew for sure that affected her gut health was the fact that I chose to formula feed her straight from the get-go. I never ever breastfed her, my youngest. And not that I think that's what caused her autism, but it really, you really can't deny the gut brain connection when it comes to a child who has autism. And anytime she had something that, was not in her normal diet, you could definitely tell. We would be, if we participate in Halloween, which this was the first year we actually did not participate in trick or treating, because Charlie doesn't understand, like, she can't have a lollipop every time we stop at a house because she will literally be up for days and days. She'll not sleep. She'll take a couple naps. Like, it's brutal. So we've had to, step away from a lot of those type of traditions, which has, brought us great things like Purium. Purium is a superfoods company that is completely regeneratively farmed. So all their superfoods come from farms who like their top priorities are soil health, no pesticide use, no herbicide use. Oh, and that's what I was getting at about the formula. The second ingredient in a can of formula is corn syrup solids. And that is one of the highest sprayed crops in America, sprayed with pesticides. And it all corn, soy, and wheat are literally in everything that you can possibly think of. If you're going to a restaurant to eat, it's likely in one of the things on your plate. And unfortunately, that's, the sad truth of knowing that Charlie had serious gut issues from that. So we tried the product. We're going to go over all of the products, but Biomedic is the one that really made the difference for her. If you want to go ahead and start those slides, Nicole, I can get into that and pull this up. But we're going to go ahead and go over the products and we'll talk about that Biomedic as we get to it. But I'm going to pull up my stuff here. So there are some people who are doing this transformation here with us now, and we're going to hear from them at the end, hopefully. But again, I'm just going to thank everybody for coming and being here to, want to better yourself. There's a lot of opportunity with this company, not just being a customer and enjoying the superfoods, but also transforming your whole life. Like, there's an income opportunity, there's a opportunity to be a part of helping lower our carbon footprint on this earth. All of the like, we'll get to that. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is why I have to read the script because I love it all so much. But we have the ultimate lifestyle transformation, which is what we always encourage people to get started with. It's a 90-day program because when you commit to something for 90 days, you can really transform and make those healthy habits happen. So this is, sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once. Let me just look at the slide. Convenience without compromise, healthy fast food, low in calories, high in nutrients, focused on gut health. So this is our main focus. That Biomedic is the gut health that I was talking about. I'm just going to go ahead and start by saying this is not a diet. I think people need to know that because diets don't work. This is like your new grocery store or one of your new grocery stores. This program will help you reset your system, nourish, balance, and repair your gut health, balance your hormones, improve your energy, help you sleep better, and reduce your joint pain. I think everyone can benefit from probably at least one of those. And we'll go ahead and start with the first product. I don't know what I just did to my screen either. I'm looking at. Okay. So creating healthy habits is possible with the ULT. It's one of my favorite things about it is it kind of meets you where you're at. You don't have to be a raw vegan, like I was saying, or a fruitarian. Like those things are really hard, and it's what stops people from, progressing into true healing. So this is all, like I said, all regeneratively farmed, which is like that 1% of regenerative farms is here in America, and that's where we get all of our foods from. And the biomedic, as you see over here, that's the glyphosate solution. So glyphosate is a big issue, and a lot of people don't know about it, but it's what I was explaining is all over, sprayed all over everything and causing havoc in our guts.
Justine,
So,
1 second. So I think you just go over that and then we'll run through the slides.
oh, okay. Let
Hmm.
me move
Hmm.
because I accidentally made my screen big and I can't see my area now and I don't know how to take it down. Hey, Olna, I just seen you come in.
Yeah. So if you just go through that,
Hey, hi everyone.
and then we'll run the slides at the end.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't get to my script. That's my problem. I literally can't get my screen to come down. I don't know why. So if you just go through the slides, I guess I can just go over
Perfect.
the product that
There you
way
go.
because
Yes.
I can't find it. I don't know how to do what I'm doing. Just winging it like I do. Good. So you have two meal replacements a day that will come in this kit. You'll have your breakfast and your lunch. And I always recommend to do the power shake and the dark berry. You could get all power shake, but this kind of gives you a little bit of balance of two different things that will definitely help and a flavor, two different flavors. The power shake is going to help you with energy levels, cravings. They're going to help detoxify your cells and create an alkaline environment in your body to support you through the heavy detoxes that we do with the biomedic and the parasite cleanser. It's going to satisfy hunger and burn fat. The dark berry is a collagen support. So it's going to help with several different things. There's some good herbs in there and mushrooms, focus, concentration, memory, vascular integrity, heart health, and healthy glucose levels. The super aminos 23 was something I really didn't think I was going to be sticking to, but I definitely think I will be now. It was actually invented by a doctor whose patients were in long-term comatose, and they have actually several studies on it for us to view ourselves, but they used them on these patients and they did not experience muscle atrophy. They actually were able to build clean muscle while they were in long-term comatose. So, this can help create lean muscle, burn fat, increase skin elasticity, and improve mental function. This is the product I was telling you about, Biomedic, that has, I truly believe, been one of the biggest game changers for Charlie. Uh, it helps detoxify glyphosate out of the gut microbiome and then also go in and heal the gut lining where the damage was done. As an ultrasound tech, I can tell you there's like 15 different diagnoses and terms for inflammation in different locations of the gut. Colitis, diverticulitis, Crohn's disease, IBS, and it's all just inflammation of different locations along the bowel and the digestive tract. Um, so unfortunately, glyphosate is something we're not going to get away from. And this is something I also kind of preach is, we don't have control over everything, but the one thing we do have control over is what we put in our body and promoting our body's natural detoxification that was given to us by our creator to make sure that we weren't, affected by anything externally. And if your body's able to push those things out and you're supporting it to do that, then you don't have to worry about the things you don't have control over. So that's also going to help with bloating, digestion, healthy immune response. And then my favorite part of it is that it helps reduce your C-reactive protein, which is your stress, like literally your stress response. It's going to help. And that has definitely helped in my house for sure. Between Charlie and me and her dad, like big time. I can go into that after we finish this. But the next thing is the apothecary. This is the only other thing you taste. Everything else is capsules besides the two shakes. And the reason that you want to use this is because cherries are known to help you produce your own melatonin. You don't need to get it from a synthetic made, gummy bear from a lab. We can produce our own, just like collagen. We don't need to take it from an animal. We can get it from the foods that we eat to produce our own. And the reason you want to support your sleep is because when you're, getting a good night's rest, you can actually get to your biggest detoxification, which happens when you're in your REM sleep. And actually, there's some people in our group cleanse right now that wear like sleep monitors to sleep. And when we first started saying, "Oh my gosh, our sleep is so much better," everybody was like, "Yeah, yeah." My one friend Lynette was like, "Yep, I can tell you it's true because my sleep monitor is telling me how long my REM sleep is, and it's much longer than it's ever been." So really cool little testimonial there too, because I don't know if she's here tonight. So you'll deepen sleep, combat free radical damage. You'll also support your liver and your kidneys with the antioxidants from apothecary too. And then lastly, we have the super cleanser. This is actually something we're doing with our kids right now. They just finished their first round of super cleanser today. Me and Matt have done ours, so we really been wanting to do it with the kids. So that is what we're doing. And this is not only going to help with parasites, this is also going to help with mold. If you've ever been exposed to it, and coming from Florida, you likely have been. And then any yeast or fungus that you've ever dealt with in your life, like if you've ever had warts, or if you've ever had something called candida overgrowth, which Matt has dealt with here as well. And this has very much helped that situation too. I won't get into the eliminations that we've seen, but yeah, definitely works. And then, if you're pregnant or nursing, you obviously would not do the super cleanser, but this entire program I would absolutely 100% recommend for a woman getting ready to prepare her body for pregnancy. I wish that I was able to have had my hands on something like this, or even just the education around it before I had babies. But if you are nursing or pregnant, you don't do the super cleanser. You could do the cracked cell chlorella, which will help just promote healthy cell growth, and then also help pull, bind any toxins and help you eliminate them through your kidneys. So we have several different ways you can purchase the ULT. You can do what was presented, the ULT and the dark berry. You can do just 4 of the power shakes, which is all the greens, or now we have an option where you can customize your 4 bags of whatever that looks like to you. We have several different options. And then, if you feel like you need support, like I personally dealt with endometriosis and reproductive cancers run in my family. So I use the Women's Defense on a daily basis as well, just to get those herbs and mushrooms in like a nice little capsule. It's all food-based. There's nothing man-made or synthetic. There's no fillers. There's no GMOs, definitely no pesticides. Everything is third-party tested. Everything is triple tested in-house for glyphosate and lead. When she comes, she got things to say too. And one of the coolest things that they have going on right now is that if you have an HSA or an FSA, which is a health savings account through your insurance company where you put money aside, you can actually get 12 months of reimbursements through your HSA or FSA to pay for your superfoods. And another cool thing is if you got a credit card that gives you 5% back on groceries, you can actually use that. And because this is all food and groceries. There she is. That's like an old phone from I can't even tell you how long ago. You want to say hi? Charlie usually always pops in a Zoom video. Hello. Happy Thanksgiving. So here are what does the program break down to is one of the typical questions that we get. And an easy way to say that is that it breaks down to $13 a day.
I'm calling Dana.
You want to call somebody? Hey, Sonia, can you come get your sister for me? We're almost done. So you could see how how easy it is to spend $13 a day, even if, go ahead, you could take that. Go ahead, you could take that with you. Here, let her take this. Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh my God, it's like a wrestling match. Do you want to say bye-bye? Say bye-bye. Go play with Sunny. All right, you can stay here. Happy Thanksgiving. Here, you want to play with that? Okay, so you can see how easily $13 a day is spent if you're doing any type of food pickup, or even if you're going to the grocery store and grabbing a healthy salad and a green juice. You could see that this is actually paying for your breakfast and your lunch, and you won't have to worry about eating any crappy foods or finding something healthy to choose from anywhere else. Is that the last slide? Okay, no, I think we have two more. Yeah. So I love this quote: do something today that your future self will thank you for. When I stopped eating the peanut butter and jelly crusts for lunch is when I really saw a big difference in my personal life and my personal journey. When I stopped just taking the easy way out and started taking care of me, even though it wasn't with Purium at first, that's when I really saw a difference, and I was able to really start taking care of myself. Because if I didn't start taking care of myself, there was no way I was going to be mentally capable of taking care of Charlie. Like it was extremely important for me to get my health right. I was dealing with quite a bit when I first got started on my journey. Even though I really wasn't targeting myself, I was worried more about her and my dad, and that's where a lot of my passion came from. It definitely helped me in the long run. So this program definitely meets people where they are, and I really truly feel like the quality of the products are will be able to do that same thing that I did with raw living foods. This program does that, and probably even better, because the stuff I was getting at the grocery store is not what any of this stuff is. It's all regeneratively farmed, picked at peak ripeness, right on the farms, dehydrated at low temperatures, right on the farms, and you don't get that at the grocery store. So we can go ahead and open it up for anybody who wants to do a quick little testimony that's here, that's been on the program with us. I would love to hear your experience so far, so we could share it with all the people on the call. I don't know where the
Hi.
chat is.
I'll go ahead and share. Why not?
Awesome. Thanks, Cheryl.
Like 31 days today in the program. I got my second package today. Rick gets his tomorrow. So the timing is like really, really exciting. Wow, I don't even know where to begin. Let's see. I was a former certified veterinary technician, and I've been out on disability with neck problems and spine issues. So, I also was the lab rat at the animal hospital. So one day, as I'm scrolling through Facebook, I don't know, Justine had mutual friends, and I see this parasite video, and I was equally as intrigued as grossed out. And I was like, I need to find out more. And here I am. I mean, I mean, it was just like it snowballed. And I've also, I mean, as Justine mentioned, I was diagnosed with all kinds of stomach problems. I was hospitalized for diverticulitis. I've had IBS. I mean, everything. My gastro doctors are always just make sure that you increase your fiber. And fiber just made me painful and uncomfortable and bloated. And it just, I just, it doesn't make sense. And my biggest thing was I found out I was not absorbing any nutrition, because what came in came out, and that may be TMI, but for me, it was very uncomfortable for a long period of time. And I have to say, like, just a couple of days in, it was like almost instantly where my body was like, I really like this. Fast forward a little bit, I ran out of my green. I thought I was going through some kind of a detox issue. And I am like, I thought I was losing it. But the reality is I've learned that that's what my body felt like when it gets nutrition. And, I also was running low on the biomedic, and, I'm back on track with that today. And I'm not running out of that stuff again. I mean, there's just I mean, yes, I've lost weight, I've built muscle. I mean, I had somebody tell me just the other day, a friend of mine came over and she was like, just and talking, all of a sudden she's like, and what do you weigh now? I was like, huh? But my clothes, like there's like room in my clothes. It's like really exciting. I accidentally stopped drinking coffee. I swear I wouldn't, but 3 days in, after I had my shake, I'm like, I don't need it. I don't really want it. I mean, sometimes I'll take a sip of my husband's, but and I tried twice. Didn't I couldn't drink it. A couple sips, that was it. But anyways, I look forward to my next parasite cleanse because that was really interesting. And yeah, I'm excited to see how Rick feels a few days in, like doing the entire program. So yeah, that's what I got.
Thank you, Cheryl. We can grab one more if anybody's here who wants to share. I think maybe the only other person would be you, Jordan, if you want to, of course.
Sure, I will. I'm on day 52, and well, I was an ultrasound tech as well. And, just as much as Justine, saw, I was right there as well. I thought I was doing people good and getting them answers. But through the journey of finding restoration and health for my son, who had chronic extreme eczema, we went through a lot of the same challenges as Justine, sleepless nights. Um, I think at one point, up until he was about 2.5 years old, we were itching more, more than, I don't know. I mean, at one point, it was probably 23 hours a day. Uh, it was lots of sleepless nights, lots of anxiety, um, and tried diet changing, and we saw some uh, improvements over time, addressing stress and things like that. And yeah, so it wasn't until November when Justine shared Purion with me that I had a restoration of hope. Um, I had tried so many products, herbs, supplements, um, homeopathics, like you name it, anything holistic we had tried. And we had seen about, let's see, he was about 90% covered at 2 months old, and it was down to just his feet. But I don't want to minimize it because, it's still nothing you want to see your child go through. So, yeah, she looking through the products and the ingredients, and there's like, I mean, I had been fooled so many times with marketing, thinking that something was clean and pure, and yeah, it lit me up. So I ordered it almost immediately, for myself and then for my son as well. And like within 5 days, I think my whole family was using the products. And my husband jumped on board and ordered his own as well. 7 days in, well, 3 days in, I could feel the energy shift. Like I had a lot more energy, mental clarity. And 7 days in, we were out of town after using the Biomedic. I had done a lot of detoxing as well. And even still, like if I would have dairy, I would have an inflammatory response. 7 days in, I had dairy and no inflammatory response, which is huge. My son started sleeping through the night. He had slept through the night maybe 10 times in 6.5 years. I would say maybe even less than five, if I'm being completely honest. Um, and within the first 7 days of being on it, he slept through the nights 5 times. And then the other 2 times he came and got in our bed and went back to sleep, which is game changer. I don't know if you guys are familiar with how important sleep is, but we do a lot of detoxing and healing throughout the night. So if you're not getting that good, well, she actually mentioned it. If you're not getting the good quality sleep, then it's messing up your healing journey. So, yeah, and he's been on it, I think, for 40 days or something. I don't know. I can't keep up with everybody's numbers, but um, he's been sleeping through the night ever since then. And like I said, if he gets up, it's just coming and getting in bed with us, and that is game changer for everybody. His itching has decreased. He feels comfortable in his own skin. He started joining us at our homeschool meetups and actually got up in front of everyone and did a show and tell, which he usually does not speak to anybody. If he goes, he's like hiding in my armpit or wanting to go out to the car and wait until the event is over. But he is like playing and having fun and being a kid, and that is incredible. He can also see the healing for himself. Never before have I asked him if he can see the healing, and him say yes. Like usually he's like, Mom, look, there's no eczema there on my foot. And so I had him close his eyes and I asked him if you can imagine yourself without any eczema on your feet. And he said yes for the first time. And I asked him what he was doing, and he said wearing tennis shoes. And that's something that we take for granted every single day. And this kid has been in flip flops or barefoot his whole life. So that is huge. So lots of wins here. And I'm looking forward to his skin integrity is incredible. Even if he does itch, it doesn't break open anymore. I think that was our biggest setback. He hasn't really had a flare up, but the skin integrity has been like our hiccup there. So, yeah, very excited for what's to come and any other shifts. I've had some shifts as well, but I think I've talked too long. So, my main focus is him. So, there we go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jordan. That was awesome. I love Luke's story. You guys are such incredible, like people to look up to. Like you have definitely helped me like realize that I can help Charlie. Everybody's journey looks different, but there's always room for improvement and ways that as long as we're open to new things, there's always room for improvement. So, alrighty. If anybody else wants to go, if not, I can go ahead and wrap it up. I can see my screen again. I think it was the screen share. I think that's all it was. But alrighty, so I will close this up. We're excited that all of you are here. This is a nutrition plan. It is not a miracle pill. Our bodies are actually the real miracle. So when we give it what it needs to function properly, just like when we put gas in our gas tank, depending on what kind of gas your vehicle takes, same idea. When you eat whole foods and less processed foods, like you really will see the difference. There's really nothing you can do wrong. There is nobody that's going to micromanage you while you do this program. But the more organic whole foods that you can eat and the less processed foods that you consume, the better off your results are going to be. Can you have like coffee and alcohol? Yes, you can, but you're going to see better results if you decrease and not use those things while you're doing it. And to be quite honest, I really don't ever want coffee anymore at all. Like my greens give me all of the cleanest possible energy I can possibly need. I don't even crave coffee. Even on these cold mornings, I'm not really fiending for it at all. Um, so ultimately, we're trying to alkalize the body, and that is the main like objective of this. And then once we do that, all the other like steps really can be brought into place, like the parasite cleanser. So a lot of people will do a parasite cleanse, but if they're not supporting their detox pathways, and those things can get stuck in the body. So another reason why I really like this program over a lot of other things is because it gives you everything you need all in one package. You don't have to do all the research yourself. It is literally put together perfectly, shows up at your doorstep, and it really doesn't get much better than that, especially considering I used to go to 6 different grocery stores to get all of the things that I needed for the week. So this has been very helpful in that department as well. At the end of these calls, we like to share a recipe, which was on one of the slides that I forgot about. But yeah, if anybody has any questions, we can stop the recording and go ahead and answer them if you have any. One more thing I like to talk about is, you know, this company is not just to help you transform your health, but there is a business opportunity in it. And if this is something you think you'd want to do, whether you just want to do the program or not, if you were to ask three people to do it with you, it could pay for your products, and you would actually get like a discount code to you could share with those people, just like I do, to create an income, whatever that looks like for yourself and your family. Because, like I said, this is not really a selling thing. This is a sharing thing. Anybody and everybody can benefit from the products from Purium. They really could.
You're all done.
Charlie's done. Does anybody have any questions?